What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more classical music, and we're back to finish off the Respighi symphonic poems. I did already react to Pines of Rome and Fountains of Rome. Pines of Rome I knew for many years because it was used in the second Fantasia film by Disney. I think it was, Fantasia 2000. So yeah, it was used very prominently. I think it's like the last piece. So that was one that I've always known, and I think that's why I ended up getting a CD shortly after that of Pines of Rome. But as I found out when I bought it, he did a couple other symphonic tone poems related to the imperial city, the eternal city. And indeed, I reacted to Fountains of Rome next, and we are down to the last, although it was actually, I think, the first that he composed, did Ottorino Respighi, Italian composer of the late 19th, early 20th century, centuries, plural. But yeah, we're going to listen to Roman festivals. Let me just make sure I have that right, because now I'm second guessing whether Roman festivals was in fact the first one. Now, it's the first of the three symphonic poems listed here in the track listing for this release, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Okay, no, so it was Fountains of Rome, then Pines of Rome, and Roman Festival. So actually, this works in that it's the third of the three, and I'm actually reacting to it last. So yeah, I think I did them out of order in terms I did Pines first, and that's the middle one. Regardless, we are on to the final of the symphonic poems related to Rome, or paying tribute to Rome. And again, I think certainly in regard to the Pines of Rome and the Fountains of Rome, it evokes that sort of classical Rome, whether you're thinking Republic or even blending into the Empire. But yeah, I imagine Roman festivals will be very much the same. So there's four, and the total duration is about 25 minutes, so find a good spot because we're going to be here for about half an hour, so hopefully that's not a bummer for any of you. But yeah, the first one is called Circus Games. Obviously, the Roman circus is a very famous concept talked about by many historians and Roman scholars. Then we'll be up to the Jubilee. The third one is Harvest Festivals in October, very perfect. And then the final one is Epiphany. So yeah, I know much less about this symphonic poem than I do either the Pines of Rome or the Fountains of Rome. So I can't really speak to the character of any of the movements. I have heard it. The one thing I do remember is that the symphonic poem overall starts with a real sort of flash and lightning kind of real grab your attention, like dramatic sort of sonics. Which the first of the festivals here, the first movement or the first part of the Roman festivals is Circus Games. So that makes sense that it's a very grab everyone's attention with sort of feats of excellence and sort of death-defying spectacle. So yeah, let's get to it. This is Respighi, Ottorino Respighi, conducted by or not conducted by, but performed by the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, which is conducted by Enrique Bátiz, who I mentioned before, Mexican composer, or Mexican conductor for sure, maybe composer, but he's done a number of guest conductor positions around the world. So yes, during the early 90s when this was recorded, it was recorded in April of 1991, he was the guest conductor for the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. So here we go. This is the RPO, conducted by Enrique Bátiz, and it's Respighi's Roman Festivals, starting with Circus Games. Even more striking than I remember. Really pushing the intensity right out of the gate. This feels like more properly kind of circus. That other part is like, as a spectator, I feel like I'm in danger. and with severity. Feels like a film score, a testament to the implied narrative quality. Danger, like real peril. Challenging movement to open a piece with. Yeah. But it makes sense. This is the third, pushing the most experimental, the most challenging. Not wanting to recover what he's already done. Like the Star Wars soundtrack. Good Lord. The circus games will not end without some fanfare, without some drama. Okay, so we're now up to the Jubilee. This coming piece is the Jubilee. Jubilee, it sounds remarkably conflicted. Either tension or future worry. reflective, maybe even a little mournful. But less tension, less worry. Feels like transitional, transformative. Feelings of like inspiration on the edge of grandeur, sort of appreciation, warmer, the brass giving you some of that. But still a lot of like urgency in the strings. Truly rich and triumphant. What a journey this movement is. I remembered that first movement, the circus games, much more than this one. Unbelievable. Still got like a minute to go. Birds in the sky, but then there still is, again, like loud, forceful layers to this. And now, like this sense of a completed journey. Still like 30 more seconds in this part. Some rustling among the recording, like whether it's the musicians or someone near one of the mics. So I think we are now This is Harvest Festivals in October. Just in time. Exuberant. Passionate, if not overtly joyful. You can tell this comes on the heels of Pines of Rome. This feels more like Pines of Rome than anything so far in the festivals. A bit frenetic, a bit frantic. Still like fun and sprightly, but maybe a bit mischievous here. The string work there. The string writing. Percussive rhythm. I will always be a sucker for good string writing. Complicated tone this section. Those are like handbells. Strings like letting us know there's something yet to be resolved. Trumpet. Like reducing it each time around. Sort of like Italian folk music feel here. Certainly, again, it evokes like images of classical Greece, classical Rome. People are like, what are you talking about? Admittedly. in more than one way. They are related. Balance of that section with that, again, sort of traditional instrument layer. What I was going to say is now relevant. There is no balance, there is only violin. But no, the mixture of the full orchestral sound and that sort of folk music sound was great, and then that violin line, forget about it. Exploration and experimentation as a composer is beyond what I remembered. It's dark. And now on to the final festival, Epiphany. Chaotic and intense as the opening of Circus Games. The power. The dissonance. Respighi's like, I'll make you have an epiphany. And I'm noticing in this one, it's like alternation of dissonance and consonance. Think of how far away this is from how it started. Another like dynamic movement in this larger symphonic poem. I remember this now, this is coming back. It's almost like fun and cartoonish, which is not an insult, it's like very classical dance. Almost carnival-esque. Almost like fun and funny to the point that it's like comedy, like orchestral writing. thought it was ending. We still got like a minute and a half. Start clapping already. Oh my God. Like the whole concert hall was on fire after that. What a piece, what a performance. Shout out to the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, shout out to Enrique Bátiz for that conduction, and the biggest shout out of all is to Ottorino Respighi. What a remarkable piece. You know, I know that symphonic poem less than the other two. As it hit me now, maybe it's my favorite. I mean, unbelievable. The first piece, the Roman, the circus games that like, you know, massive, just like powerful sound, also like challenging, like dangerous, threatening, but ultimately like rewarding. And then the second piece, the Jubilee, like what a remarkable journey that was. You know, from being very like tension filled and almost uncomfortable at the beginning to moving through a more like reflective emotional state, getting to increasingly like strong and kind of profound feeling, and finishing with this glorious triumph, and then moving into the, what was it, the festival or the harvest days of October, harvest festivals in October. That had a very sort of energetic feel, and it sort of like, you know, combined sort of the traditional and the sort of more fully orchestral. And then we get to that final piece, which again, just the dynamism of the Epiphany, you know, explosive and powerful and passionate, and constantly changing and like pushing boundaries and sort of levels of intensity. So yeah, the audacity of that composition, the experimentation of that composition, and the like ultimate beauty and profound nature of that composition is just incredible. So again, I love the Pines of Rome. I'm very fond of the Fountains of Rome. Maybe the Roman festivals just beat them both to the finish line. So let me know if you agree. Let me know if you like one of the other two symphonic poems better. Let me know what you think of the performance of the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra and Enrique Bátiz in April 1991. Again, shout out to everyone, and shout out to any of you who watched this whole reaction. It means a lot to me that there are people who are interested in the classical reactions. And I noticed when I was, you know, I was in the studio, and, you know, I don't look at the analytics too much, but I did notice the classical reactions have a like higher like watch percentage for the videos than some of the other playlists. So shout out to all the classical people out there. I really do appreciate you. I will see you next time. Peace.